This is a demonstration of the Stansoft accounts receivable system. We will start by entering a sales invoice, and we will show how that flows through the system. Selecting sales, invoice entry, select on add. Enter a batch number as a user assigned number, any number you'd like to enter in there. Search for your customer. Pressing enter will auto assign the invoice, and enter on date will auto assign today's date. If you know your product number, you can enter it. Otherwise, Control F to search. Now the inventory lot window has come up because this product is set to use inventory lots. And there currently are no lots listed here. The lots would be under this column here. So that means we either didn't enter a receiver from our supplier, or possibly the count is incorrect. So we could enter either one of those to correct that. If we press escape here, it will let you continue on. It gives you this message here and tells you if you select yes, a back order quantity will be created. Selecting no, well, this brings you back here. So we'll select Control C to cancel this. And we will go into inventory. First I'll show you where where it's flagged as using lots in inventory master maintenance. So find, enter our product code, and you'll notice do a change. The last field here is use lots. Y will use lots. If you don't want to use lots on this product, either just remove the Y by spacing over it or put an end flag in there. We'll just Control C and leave it with a Y. So there's one of two reasons that the lot wasn't there. Either we didn't enter the receiver from the supplier. If that's the case, we would go into receive inventory. Enter our vendor, receiver number, profit center, and our product number. And again, the lot entry window comes up here because in inventory master it was set to use lots. Enter your lot number and the quantity. You can enter an expiration date if you like, or leave it blank. And that receiver has been entered. Now if we went back to sales, that lot would show up. But to demonstrate another method to get the lot in there, let's find this a minute and we'll delete it. Selecting delete, yes, so that receiver is now deleted. Now we'll go into inventory count maintenance. This is normally where your physical inventory count would be entered, normally on a monthly basis, but it could be whatever period you use for doing your physical counts. So if we select add on here, enter our profit center, our product number, location, and the date, quantity counted, and again the lot window comes up because this product is set to use lots in inventory master. Enter our lot number, our quantity, escape to save, escape again. Now that record has been saved. So you could enter it in here if, for example, the lot was not showing up but you knew you had physical inventory in your warehouse. You would want to enter it here rather than enter the receiver, which may have already been entered, but for some reason it wasn't showing as having inventory in your warehouse. Now let's go back to the sales invoice entry. Enter our product number, and the lot window will come up, and this time you notice that lot number 1 that we just entered in the inventory count appears there. Pressing enter will highlight the row so that lot is selected. Pressing escape. Escape again. We'll save the invoice. Pressing E will exit, or arrowing over to the ring menu exit and select exit. If you found that you made a mistake on your invoice, you can go back into invoice entry, select find, enter any search criteria that you need in any of these fields. Profit center, batch number, we entered batch number 1, and pressing escape will find everything in batch 1. If you enter no search criteria, it just finds all invoices that are unprocessed. And then doing a change, you could change anything you wanted to on the invoice. So we'll select E to exit. Once the invoice is good and you're not going to be making any more changes to it, you can process it. You can put as many invoices as you like into the posted invoice program, and maybe once a day or once a week, depending on how many invoices you do, you could process them at whatever interval you like. So here again, we could put in search criteria for what you're going to process. If you wanted to just process batch number 1, you could put that in. Or if you just want to process everything, hit escape without entering anything. And that will process all the invoices. Select yes. And this report will show everything that was processed. That was the only invoice in there. If you want to view that invoice that we just processed, there's a couple of different ways to do that. We can go into invoice print, enter the invoice number or the invoice date. Since it's the only invoice on that date, we'll enter a date, enter on view, and this is the invoice that we just entered here. So that invoice could be sent out to your customer. You can also view it on the customer's account under Accounts Receivable, Customer Account Display. Search for the account and use the arrow keys, and the invoice that we entered is the last one here. Pressing enter on that will show the invoice details. Control C to back out of that. And we can also print the invoice from in here with F8. F9 will email the invoice. Control C to back out of that. Now when the customer sends a payment in, that will be entered in Accounts Receivable Payment Entry. Enter the profit center number, the date. Pressing enter will automatically assign deposit number. Search for a customer. Enter in your receipt type that was defined in Accounts Receivable. I have 01, but yours might be different than that. Enter the amount that they paid. Pressing escape will go to the screen where we can assign the payment. And you can see here under the remaining payment, they paid a total of $225. Change the flag to Y. Pressing enter on that will assign that payment amount. And the remaining payment is 0, so the entire payment has been applied. Pressing escape. Selecting save. So the payment has been saved now. Control C to get out of there. Now if we go back into the customer account display, the receipt we just entered now appears. And this screen will show everything that is unpaid, or if there's a payment, it'll show that also. To match up all those payments, the open ones that every invoice that has been paid, normally once a month, you would go into the clear match transactions. This is under accounts receivable. Select new, and you would enter your cycle end date, which would normally be a month. So if we enter the end of that month, pressing escape to process that. Now if you go back to customer account display, the invoice no longer appears, the invoice or the payment, because that has been cleared out of there. Normally you would print your account statement before doing the clear match transactions, because once we do that, the paid invoices will no longer appear on the statement. So if we show the statement for the end of the month, and you'll notice neither the invoice we entered or the payment appears on here because we cleared those out. But had we printed the invoice, rather the statement first, they would show on here, which you would send out to your customer at the end of the month. So after statements have been sent out is when you would do the cleared match transactions.